So yeah, Chris, as you were saying, for me, you kind of hit the nail on the head in terms of like expanding and hiring sort of thing. I'm at the point where between staff that's all offshore and my wife that's not an employee,
Yep.
and me, I'm kind of getting toward like reaching capacity. So the question is, do I hire another attorney or who is that next person that I hire? And frankly, I've got some fear of that based
Yep.
on sometimes things that I've heard you say about your specific practice and other solos that I know that have had not great experiences with that and kind of the best way to do that. And obviously, you know, it's not worth doing if I'm working more and not making more money, right? There should be hopefully working less and making more money, I suppose
Yep.
would be the goal for me. And kind
100%.
of thinking about that and breaking that down a little bit and sort of kind of how best to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the first thing that I'll say is I would not describe my experience as a bad one. I would just describe my experience as life as a business owner.
Mhm.
Because a long time ago, we just released the expectation A, that I was great at hiring, B, that people would want to be around me forever or would want to work with me forever, and I think also C, that people are crazy or people are not crazy, I guess, releasing that belief. So I wouldn't say it's been a bad experience for me. I'm hiring people right now. I have an interview with somebody today. I hired a new attorney that's going to start. She's starting in February just because of her own work stuff. And I was actually, when I was hiring the person that's starting in February, was when all the other two people left my team.
Mhm.
And I was like, I said, look, and everybody was there at the first interview, and then everybody was gone by like the third interview. So so I just want to tell you, everybody's gone. I didn't fight. It wasn't my fault. One left for like his own legitimate reasons. One was crazy. But I said, she works in a bigger firm. So what I said was, it feels bigger when you're smaller because losing one person is like losing 30% of your workforce
Mhm.
as opposed to being bigger. But in bigger businesses, people come and go all the time. People are crazy all the time. People get fired all the time. And so I think it's just important to remember that that's just part of the process of being a business owner. There's a significant upside to hiring somebody if you can find good people, that's just, you're going to be your eternal search. Like who's the TV character that like walks the earth? I think it was like a
Oh, like kung
like
fu?
yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So you're just going to be like perpetually walking the earth, looking for like whatever he was looking for. So, that doesn't mean to say that it's not kind of scary. It can be. It is for sure at the beginning. And there's still a little apprehension from that for me. Mostly it's because, you know, it's a lot of effort to bring people in. It's just not always perfect. But if you find good people, they can be great. What I will say for you in particular, what's nice about where you live, which is a humongous state with many, many, many peoples in it, I would really lean towards trying to find somebody that's just completely virtual
Mm.
and finding them in an area that is not like Orange County.
Yeah.
You can pay them much, much less. They are probably going to be just as skilled as you would find anywhere else. And you get the best of both worlds. And you also just don't have the additional overhead of more office space, more everything. You just like basically buy them a computer and go. The one thing that I will say on top of that is that we can do now here in Washington that I am implementing is virtual signings, which
Mm.
really, really changes the game on being able to hire a completely virtual everybody. So I don't know if California has moved in that direction
No,
yet.
definitely not. But I mean, a
Yeah,
third, it's going down a little bit because I try to get people to drive to me, but I do signings all over the state where I have pretty trusted notaries at this point that I just send to their house and I'm
yeah,
on the call while,
yeah.
while
You
that
just
happens. So
organize
that,
them. You just organize everybody is there except for you, basically.
yeah,
Yeah. We can do them completely virtual now on
yeah.
Zoom, which is pretty wild. I'm doing my first one next week, so we'll see how it goes. But if we can do that, then that just opens up like a lot of different opportunities. So, but that's so thoughts, questions based on my monologue that I just
Yeah, I
dropped.
mean, ultimately, idea at some point of having like different pods, right, in a different geographic area to get that Google pin in the map and hiring someone. And I have just general ideas about where that would be for me. But also the idea of totally virtual opening up my applicant pool extremely wide, you know,
Yep.
and totally virtual. Like I'm used to dealing with that, right? But if we're dealing with an attorney, I do not have any U.S. employees besides me. So obviously there's that aspect to it. And like, how would I guess it's attracting someone with lifestyle and or paying someone that's hopefully going to not use this job as just a stepping stone to whatever comes next, right? To take
Yeah.
however many months to train them, and then however many months after that, 6 months total, and they're gone, sort of thing.
Step one, you have to just stop that story in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't know what someone's going to do or not do. And if you don't pour into them and try to train them up, they're going to leave anyway. So it's like when it comes to that, it's literally like don't hate the player, hate the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Here's why. They could literally come in and have the mindset of staying with you forever. And in 18 months, somebody approaches them and offers to double their salary and cut their hours in half. You're not going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I would just focus more on how do I find the best possible person I can and just go from there. And when you hire somebody, you just all in on them, hopefully be all in on you. And then you just see how it plays out. If you get into this mindset of like, oh, what if they leave or whatever, then, you can kind of like sometimes push people that direction. Or what ends up happening is strangely, you end up hiring somebody that is exactly like that. You ever have somebody that just dates the wrong person over and over and over again? And you're like, why do you keep finding the same person? And they're like, I don't know. It's like the person that I really don't want. It's like, well, that might be why. Put some juju out there in the world, you know? So you just can't worry about that too much. The key to finding what you want is to have your job description really reflective of like your philosophy and your style and what you're looking for. That's the key. My job descriptions I try to make them not unique like from a catchy standpoint, but unique from like, this is what we do that nobody else does.
Real quick, if you're a law firm owner bringing in between $300K and $1 million, and you've got messy books and feel like you're paying too much in taxes, pay attention. At Big Bird Accounting, we only work with people like you to create clean books and pay as little in tax as legally possible. If you need help like that, go to bigbird accounting.com and let's chat. See ya.